Welcome to Dating Deja Vu, the podcast where we talk about your patterns, your pitfalls, and your personal growth in modern dating. I'm your host, Christina Hathaway, marriage and family therapist and dating and relationship expert. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about no date, no problem, how to actually enjoy Valentine's Day when you're single. Now, today is Valentine's Day, so hopefully you're listening to this early on. And if your love life has been just a lot of the same thing over and over again, it might be deja vu, but it also might be you. So let's figure it out together. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. As I promised, today I was going to help you understand how to get through today with grace and compassion and love for your damn self. So last episode, we talked about what not to do when you're single on Valentine's Day, like no spiraling or texting your ex, right? Definitely not, going on a last minute date, whatever that looks like. In today's episode, we're flipping the script. And if you're single on Valentine's Day, you have two choices. We can make it weird or we can make it work. And I'm here to actually ensure that you do that. So what we want to do on Valentine's Day is we have to begin to reframe Valentine's Day, shifting the mindset from couples only, right, to celebrating all kinds of love. Reality check is Valentine's Day is not just for couples. Somewhere along the way, we got tricked into thinking February 14th is the only day for couples or for people in relationships, right? Which is totally just a marketing thing. But love isn't just romantic. Love is friendship. Love is family. Love is self. And as I talk about all the time, love is also for your pets. So instead of seeing this as like Single Awareness Day, what if we treated it as an excuse for just creating something positive, right? And so I want to talk about that. Reframing the idea of this is just a reminder that love is an important thing and it starts with you. I say this to my clients all the time. I say, how are you even going to know that someone loves you if you've never experienced it in yourself? And usually those are individuals who believe that they were loved or they had some sort of conditional love. Now, if you came from a very healthy home, then this isn't pertaining to you. But if you came in a home, or at least you perceived that love was earned, love was conditional, love was withheld, then you've most likely had different definitions and different behaviors around love and different expectations around love that, again, are completely conditional, but also most of the time, those conditions externally dating yourself through love rather than internally feeling it. And if you've never felt it inside yourself, it's going to be very hard for you to experience that in someone else. And so being able to look at Valentine's Day and reframe and say, like, no, like love is, I can love it. You can love a fucking plant, right? I love my dogs so much. Like, it's insane how much I love them. So I want you to reframe that altogether. And I want you to make this a day about you instead of a day of lacking something, right? The only reason Valentine's Day feels so bad is the belief you have about being single, right? As if you don't have something. Yes, you are not in a relationship currently, but that doesn't mean that you don't have people to be grateful for and that you love and you care about. You want to flip this and focus on what you do have. It can be a wonderful day to experience gratitude of, I have all these wonderful people in my life, these plants, these pets. Focus on the P's, your people, your plants, and your pets, right? Ask what makes you happy and be grateful for those things. How do you want to feel on this day and what makes you happy? So really reframing the idea of Valentine's Day in general from, again, I'm lacking something, something's wrong with me, to, wow, I actually have so much love to celebrate. And starting with myself is the perfect place to start. Then what I want you to do is like create a ritual, and you can start today, right? If you're listening to this and it's morning time, I want you to go get yourself a nice coffee and ask them to put a heart on it for you. They probably will anyways. Go get yourself a cake pop. Like, go do something that you enjoy. If you love, like my best friend and her family love doing the hike on Thanksgiving. That's something they do every year on Thanksgiving, where everyone else thinks Thanksgiving being this, gluttonous, sedentary day, they don't. They reframe it and they go on this hike every year, right? They go on hikes other time of the year too, but create your own tradition on Valentine's Day. So when you're in a relationship, Valentine's traditions are kind of built in naturally, right? Dinners, gifts, whatever that looks like. But when you're single, you can create your own tradition, and it's about you. So again, I go to my favorite coffee shop. Maybe that coffee shop is across town and I do that for myself on that day, right? Or I'm going to book a spa appointment. If it's in the, you have the time, you've got the money, book a spa appointment on that day. I love going to the spa, man. Like you forget everything. Like I don't even bring my phone. I just leave that shit and I just go like I go to the not the Phoenician. I'm gonna forget the name. Monte Lucia here. It's beautiful. They have like the pool, hot tubs, the cold plunge. Obviously you get the massage, the facial. Oh, it's amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Book a massage, start a new book. That could be a great one because starting a new book is wonderful, especially if it's an author you like or it's something that you've been wanting to read. You could get lost in that. And so that's actually a great, maybe start a new podcast, this one, yay, or have a standing dinner date with your best friend on Valentine's Day. For me, I would be totally down with that because we don't go out on Valentine's Day, right? So if my best friend wants to come over or I go to her house, I would definitely order in, DoorDash that shit, have a nice little wine night with your girl. What we're doing here is we're deciding what Valentine's Day means to us. And what that's going to do is you're going to stop making it something that you avoid or something that is negative. You should look forward to it. And that's where, Galentine's days are great as long as it's being celebrated, not a pity party for everyone there. The other thing I love is a self-love date. So that would be, like I said, taking yourself on a date that feels special and it's not out of pity, right? It's not a candlelit dinner for one in the middle of the restaurant where everyone else is on a date. I mean, if you want to do that and you feel strongly in that, you fucking do it. But if you're sitting there like eating your tears, no, we don't do that. Okay. Go to your favorite coffee shop and journal. Maybe write a letter, how much you love your fucking self. Write yourself a letter. Maybe try a new class or activity that day, do a mini staycation, solo movie night, cook yourself a fancy dinner at home, or maybe order in the expensive restaurant that you normally go to if you were on a date, but you're like, you know what? I'm going to order it in because number one, I can stay in my pajamas. Number two, I can watch, Summer House. And number three, I don't have to deal with everyone else being there. Okay. Another thing women like to do specifically, guys, you can do this too, is make it a friendship holiday, right? And be social without making it about relationships. So Friendentines or Galentine's night, right? This is just a wonderful time to catch up on a show, have some wine, DoorDash that food in, and you could do like different charcuterie boards. I love a charcuterie board party. I did it for my birthday last year and some of the boards were amazing. So casual wine and charcuterie, group movie, right? Rom-com night, which we talked about in the last episode, and a love yourself dinner where we all get dressed up. We all get dressed the fuck up and we go somewhere nice together. And we are not talking about the couples. We're talking about us and our empowerment, what's going good in our lives. And we're sharing that gratitude towards each other. And send messages on this day of appreciation instead of dwelling on loneliness. Instead of thinking about who isn't texting you, right? Send a message to someone you actually appreciate. I had the best conversation with my best friend, Dustin, today. And he was just there for me. And he listened to me without judgment. And it was so nice that afterwards I was like, thank you again so much for like just being there and hearing me. I'm so grateful for you. People really enjoy that. If it's your sibling, your best friend, your coworker, send that message that day. Like fill yourself up with love. That's what it is about, right? Just want to say, hey, I'm grateful for you. That can literally shift your entire mood. Now, I want to talk to the Deja crew if you are actively dating. Okay. So if it's Valentine's Day and you're dating, but you're not like dating, we're in like maybe not even a situationship. It's just kind of new, right? So for the situationship / early dating stages, you've been seeing someone for a few weeks and now it's Valentine's Day. It's looming. It's awkward. What do you do? We're going to keep it chill. Happy Valentine's Day. Don't overthink that shit. Don't overthink it. Don't even send a GIF. Just happy Valentine's Day. Avoid making it a big deal, especially because this person probably is like, I don't know what to do. Like, where are we? Like, I don't want them to get the wrong idea. And you don't want to do that either. And also, if you're on the receiving end, if I'm thinking female, right? Don't expect too much either. Don't expect that person to take you on this elaborate date. A happy Valentine's Day. Maybe you guys get a drink that night or something. For the situationship, if you're in that weird undefined thing that everyone's doing these days, this is a great time to check in with yourself. Okay. Does this person actually add value to your life, or are they just there to fill up space? Because if you're putting a lot of emphasis on this person showing up for you in a way that they haven't been showing up for you in this situationship, then you might just be using them to fill a void. So we definitely want to make sure that we are kind of checking in with that. And then the litmus test is if you feel weird not having plans with them, but also weird asking about plans with them, that could be a sign. Okay. If like my husband took me, now we broke up. I think I told you guys the story. We broke up for 2 months after he told me he didn't want a girlfriend. And I was like, okay, because I knew exactly what I wanted. And it wasn't someone who didn't want a relationship. It was quite the opposite. Ran into each other randomly. And on Valentine's Day. So we ran into each other January 17th. We had went out to Topgolf and Chipotle a couple weeks later. And then he was out of town on Valentine's Day helping a friend move. And so whatever, my girlfriend and I actually, so speaking of making it a friendship day, we went to Disneyland. Take your ass to Disneyland on Valentine's Day. We had the best freaking time. It was so fun. But what he did, we're still in this early part, even though we had that previous 4 months together, he's like, I want to take you out. And he planned the date. He said, just wear a dress. And it was awesome. He took me to a beautiful restaurant. Like, it was fantastic. And that's when I knew this is going well. So it was probably a little bit over because, again, we had already had 4 months together. It wasn't like the first couple of weeks. So don't necessarily expect that either. But even if they're like, hey, do you want to get a drink, or do you want to go get a sandwich, get a coffee? Be okay with that. You're in a situationship / early stages of a relationship. They don't necessarily have to do anything. Is it kind to do something? Yes. But again, if they just say, hey, happy Valentine's Day, I hope you have a great day, except that's where we're at. Okay. And again, if you don't have plans and you don't want to ask about plans, that might be a good place to be like, interesting. Okay. All right. Good idea, bad idea for ranking Valentine's Day single activities. So we're going to rank them from empowering to desperate. So good idea, as we talked about, booking a spa day or massage, going out with friends and making it fun, making it about friendship, cooking yourself a fancy meal, or writing a love letter to yourself. I love that shit. You sit down and you say, I love you, self. Look at all these things you allow me to do. You allow me to write. You allow me to listen to this awesome podcast with this crazy therapist. You allow me to pet this beautiful dog. Look at that dog. Cuddle that dog, right? Bad idea. Scrolling through your ex's Instagram. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Don't look at him and his new girlfriend. Do not do that. I should have put that on the last episode. Sending a happy Valentine's Day to your ex or past fling. We already know these ones because we just talked about them. Going on a date with someone you're not interested in just to avoid being alone, and then complaining the entire day. So if you are single today, it's okay. It's just a day. It's a day of love. And love is something, again, we can give to people, pets, plants. We can give it to really anything. Today is a day where you can share gratitude, share love for yourself, create rituals, create experiences, and you can make this whatever you want to make it. You don't have to live in this misery. So I, in this very short episode, encourage you, if you're just listening to this, if you haven't done something nice for yourself today, to figure out what the fuck that's going to be. Maybe I was just listening to this episode and saying, you know what? No, I'm going to text my friends because I love them so much. And I just want to let them know how special they are. Think about that. If someone sent that to you and you're single, wow, I am special. I'm not alone. I have these other people who absolutely love me. And I want you to do something good for yourself. And if you are listening to this and you do something good for yourself today or with your friends or whatever that is, I would love for you to share in the comments below. You can comment on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And I get them. YouTube as well. I get them straight to my phone on YouTube. Bottom line, Valentine's Day is just a day. You get to decide what it means to you. Pick one thing to look forward to today, whether it's self-care, time with friends, or just treating yourself to something small. If you start feeling the single spiral, we're going to pause and reframe. You are not alone. You just don't have romantic plans. Also, don't forget to put in the comments what you did for yourself today. And one thing I had on my notes here is, what's your go-to Valentine's Day tradition when you're single? Add that too. DM me on Instagram or comment on Instagram. I want to hear what you guys do to make today fun instead of depressing. So that's our very short episode for today. I wanted to keep it short and sweet so you can take it with you on this Valentine's Day. If you haven't done it already, make sure you're following us wherever you listen to podcasts or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you really do like this information and is helpful for you, we'd love a 5-star rating and review, because that's going to get me out to more people. The more people who listen to this podcast, the more likely you are to find someone who realizes it's them instead of you. And we will no longer have deja vu if we do that. So you're helping yourself by giving us a 5-star rating and review. So happy Valentine's Day. Remember, this day happens every year, and whatever you make of it is what you make of it. Just remember too, it might be deja vu, but it also might be you. Goodbye.